back, viewers. You're watching the Savera and I'm Shifali. The US Supreme Court has agreed to fast-track President Donald Trump's appeal against a lower court decision that struck down his controversial tariff measures, ruling that he has exceeded his constitutional authority. In an unsigned order issued yesterday, the justices said they would hear oral arguments in the case during the first week of November. The accelerated schedule comes after the Trump administration argued that waiting until the court's usual timeline, June next year, could result in severe financial consequences. Officials warn that a negative ruling could force the government to refund between $750 billion and $1 trillion in tariff revenue. The legal battle began after the Court of International Trade in May declared Trump's reciprocal tariffs unlawful, ruling that only Congress has the constitutional authority to impose tariff. The Federal Circuit Court of Appeals in Washington upheld that decision last month, but temporarily stayed its ruling until October 14 to allow the administration to seek Supreme Court intervention. With Tuesday's order, the stay would now remain in place until the High Court issues its judgment. Trump has evoked the International Economic Emergency and Powers Act to impose what he described as reciprocal tariff. He argued that trade deficits with certain countries constituted an economic emergency, giving him the power to unilaterally raise duties. Under this policy, Trump levied a 25% tariff on India exports and a 25% punitive tariff on imports of Russian oil, which Homeland Security Secretary Kriti Noem defended as a response to threats to the United States posed by Moscow. Both lower courts, however, concluded that Trump's reliance on the IEEPA was unconstitutional, stressing that tariff-setting authority rests exclusively with Congress. Despite the ongoing litigation, Trump signaled optimism on the diplomatic front, writing on social media. He said that negotiations with India were moving forward and he would be confident there will be no difficulty in coming to a successful conclusion. He also mentioned plans to speak soon with Prime Minister Narendra Modi, whom he described as his very good friend. Analysis suggests that tariff terms are incorporated into formal bilateral trade agreement. They may have been shielded from the eventual Supreme Court ruling. In a separate development on Tuesday, Chief Justice John Roberts issued a stay on a lower court ruling that required the Trump administration to release $4 billion in foreign aid provided by Congress. The funds have already been frozen under a controversial practice called pocket recession, in which administration deliberately delays spending appropriated funds until the fiscal year ends, causing the money to lapse and return to the Treasury. The Supreme Court has consolidated two related cases to the tariff issue. Lawyers representing both the challengers and the government must submit written briefs by September 19, responses by October 20, and final replies by October 30. The court has limited oral arguments to 1 hour. The outcome of this case is expected to have far-reaching implications, not only for Trump's trade policies and the US economy, but also for the constitutional balance and the power between the executive and legislative branches when it comes to managing trade and economic emergencies. That's all for now on this update. Stay tuned to the Savera. Download the app and follow us on various social media platforms.